Alright, to start with, we are going to start with pricing. Pricing of an item is the most important factor in any industry, and especially in a distribution industry where the margins are very tight and margin for error is very less. Right? Pricing is the most important factor. ASCS brings in a solution called price formula, which gets linked to the trade agreements. Right? Today, what we do is in Dynamics 365 to set up prices, we use trade agreements for customers and items or group of customers and items. Well, the trade agreements are manually entered by calculating the margins outside the system, and nobody has the visibility on how the price was derived. So just to have a quick glimpse of what trade agreement line does. So if we go into one of these trade agreement lines, I see that there is a customer group relation to a particular item, and there is a price formula tag to it currently. I'll just remove it. And here you can see that I can manually enter a price for an item. So this way you have to do it for each and every item in the system, right? Rather than what we have done is we have created price formula ID which can be linked to the trade agreements. So as soon as I select a price formula ID, you see that there is a change in the price. So earlier I selected 200, but it has automatically calculated it to 119.99. So this is because there is some setup behind the price formula ID, right? So I'll quickly go into what we have done in price formula, right? So to navigate that, I need to go into sales and marketing module, and then I can get into price and promotions and do that. But instead doing all this activity, I have selected them as my favorites, so I can navigate them from here, right? To take a small example, we can see that I have created a price formula here, and I'm saying that it's a 10% markup on the purchase, right? So here I'm saying that I can say use my last purchase price or for a particular item and calculate a 10% markup. So for that I have to select the price basis as purchase price. If I have to if I have to calculate it based on my cost price, I can select it as default cost. I can do it on my market cost, which is an advanced supply chain feature where you can define a market cost for a particular item. Similarly, you can have average landed cost, which is again an advanced supply chain feature, right, which gets calculated based on the journeys. Standard cost and sales price are standard. So these are all typically my price basis based on which my price formula will calculate the sales price. So if you come down, you see that there are lines. So I can go and click in number of lines here, right? So I can see that there is a function available here, whether to add or subtract, or there are other functions that are available like multiply and divide, right? If I go and see, you can see subtract, multiply. So what it is doing is it's saying that I am adding a 10% value, then subtracting a 2% value here. Just to give you a simpler example, let me go into one of the price formulas that I've created. So you see this thing that there is a 10% markup, right? And my price basis is last purchase price. So imagine that my purchase price was something around 40, right? System will automatically give me a value of 44. So because it's based on my price basis, which is 40, and it's automatically calculating a 10% and it's giving me 44. So if I look into the trade agreement lines for a particular item which has a purchase price of 40, it will give me a 44 as a sales price, right? So I'll take an quick example. So this is my item where I have defined a purchase price of 40, right? Now what I will do is in my trade agreement lines, I have tagged, so this is my trade agreement line for that particular item here. So this is my customer, this is my item. I have said that this particular item should always use the price formula ID 006 which I have created, which is a 10% markup. As you see, there is a small description there, right? So what happened is when I created my sales order, it automatically took a unit price of 44. So this is how my price formula is going to work. So you don't really have to maintain the trade agreement lines. All you have to do is update your purchase price or cost price, and your sales price automatically gets updated based on that. So this saves a lot of time and effort, right? And there is a less chance of error because you're not doing any calculations manually. So this is all about price formula, which is of great use to the users.